Thanks for joining us. Legislators recently unveiled a package of bills aimed at improving the laws on homeowners associations. As Kevin Miller reports, some local lawmakers say these popular housing agreements have gotten out of hand.
The reality of many is one of escalating costs for monthly dues, special assessments for repairs, outrageous restrictions by boards run amok, escalating fines and fees, often for minor infractions, leading to foreclosure.
The HOA Reform Bill creates a state framework for homeowner protections. According to the authors, it increases transparency, limits fines, and prevents conflicts of interest on HOA boards. They hope it reins in HOA boards that are overstepping their boundaries and driving up the cost of housing. The bipartisan bill came after a working group heard feedback from homeowners. Senator Susan Pah told the story of a Brooklyn Park resident who was looking for a way to hold her HOA accountable.
She was given no warning about this violation, no chance to dispute it, and when she tried to talk to the HOA about it, she was refused to even have a discussion with them. Unfortunately, situations like this is very similar all across our state.
Now, there's a lot of work left to do on this bill in the committees, and we'll keep an eye on it for you. At the Capitol, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
A new bill hopes to boost the chances of survival for those who suffer sudden cardiac arrest. Senator Bonnie Westland of Plymouth brought it to the Education Policy Committee this week. The bill would require school districts to have emergency response plans for cardiac arrests in place by the 2026 school year. That includes requiring schools to have a designated cardiac emergency response team. Norman Kim Okerstrom, who live in Plymouth, spoke in support of the bill. Their son Teddy suffered a sudden cardiac arrest at a Wayzata football practice in 2009 and survived.
We are forever grateful for the quick actions that his coaches, an alert teammate, and the staff at Wayzata took to save his life. It's these actions, or the unthinkable lack of appropriate actions during a sudden cardiac arrest prior to EMS arrival, that are oftentimes the difference between life and death.
The bill would give $3 million to Minnesota schools to help implement the policy. That includes buying AEDs and funding training for staff and coaches. Brooklyn Park Mayor Hollis Winston is weighing in on a letter the city received from the mayors of neighboring cities asking Brooklyn Park to stay consistent with surrounding development.
Maple Grove and Champlin saw fit to tell Brooklyn Park how we should develop our city. And I think the majority of Brooklyn Park folks take issue with that. I certainly take issue with that.
At issue is a 700-acre swath of land in northwestern Brooklyn Park that borders Champlin and Maple Grove. Brooklyn Park's early vision for the site is a BioTech district that could potentially create 5,000 to 10,000 jobs. But of concern to nearby cities is the possibility of high-density housing that could be part of the development. This week, Mayor Winston spoke out against that concern.
I take issue with this when folks say, hey, look, we don't want all this dense housing on our borders. First thing, you don't get to determine what Brooklyn Park does. Second thing, we are still considering what we're going to put in place as a city. So if there is biotech, there will be a certain type of housing that needs to be put in place.
Winston says Brooklyn Park needs more market rate housing and calls the input of others outside the city a form of, quote, regional redlining. A new business in Maple Grove is tapping into the popularity of pickleball. Today in Business Matters, I caught up with staff at Swing City.
Nice and slow, you don't want to hit it too hard, kind of just get below the ball.
At this Maple Grove shop, pickleball ambassador Zoe Wiles shares a quick lesson.
Trying to keep it nice and low at that spot right above the net.
That experience is one thing that sets Swing City apart.
It's nice to let the customers try out the different demo paddles that they offer here at Swing City. If they want to come in and kind of get a feel for the paddle, they can do it right here with the Nig Master.
Swing City is a racket sports shop in Maple Grove. It sells nearly everything you'd need for pickleball or tennis, with strings attached. Well, besides the court. Wiles got that part covered at Pure Pickleball in Plymouth.
Really fun to just see a bunch of new people coming out trying something new.
You notice in the middle of Swing City it says "Win It."
Swing City came just in time for the pickleball craze. Courts, both indoor and outdoor, are popping up everywhere.
I love it because it's a challenge mentally, physically, emotionally. You get a good workout playing.
Business owner Elisa Chase opened the shop in response to it. She says it's the only one like it in Maple Grove.
There's a need up here to provide some retail space and equipment for people who want to play.
And though pickleball is the sport of the moment, Chase says tennis products are selling just as well.
Everybody can play pickleball and tennis, so you can just pick it up and learn it, and it's a great social sport too.
She thinks the craze isn't going away anytime soon.
It's just growing like crazy.
You can find Swing City right by the Cub in Maple Grove. An annual tradition begins this week in Maple Grove that gives people a chance to shop local. The Indoor Farmers Market kicks off Thursday afternoon at the Maple Grove Community Center. More than 20 vendors will be on hand selling items such as baked goods, mushrooms, meat, and handcrafted jewelry.
It's just a great avenue for people to come and show off their amazing food, their local produce. You know, farmers work so incredibly hard to provide food, and this is just such a great outlet and a lovely place for them to come and sell.
The Indoor Farmers Market takes place every other Thursday through April 24th. Meanwhile, the Outdoor Farmers Market begins on May 8th at the Church of the Open Door.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Postseason play is underway in girls basketball. In Section 5 4A, Champlin Park and Osseo tipped off play Tuesday night in the quarterfinal round. The Rebels seeded 5th in the Section 5 tournament, the Orioles the number 4 seed. Brooke Soash with a drive to the basket. She scores and is fouled. Champlin Park out to an early lead in the first half. Savannah Belangi had a big game for the Rebels. She drills a three-pointer here. Champlin Park up by 6 at 20-14. Mackenzie Spading knocks down a mid-range jumper for the Orioles. It's a three-point game. Late in the first half, Belangi hits another three-pointer. It's an 8-point Rebels lead at the half on a 32-point night for the Champlin Park senior. Second half, Orioles in transition. The pass from Tershea Anderson to Josiah White. Nice move by her in the paint to get free. Osseo up by 2 with 7 minutes to play. Great passing by the Orioles here to break the press. And Nevaeh Torma is alone at the other end to put in 2. She scores 24 points in the game as Osseo beats Champlin Park 60-57. The Orioles play at top-seeded Maple Grove in the semifinals on Friday night. The high school boys basketball regular season wraps up this week. Totino-Grace and Park Center faced off in a matchup of 2 of the better teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Ches Moots has more.
Just 3 weeks ago, Park Center had a big comeback and beat Totino-Grace on the road by 1 in overtime. The Pirates started hot on Tuesday night. Quick hands by Abu Kita leads to a fast break and an easy lay-in for Nigel Caldwell. Then midway through the first half, PC running again. DeRoyce Mills dumped down to Kita for the slam. Pirates up by 4. Totino-Grace went on a run late in the first half. Good passing on this possession. Ball ends up in the hands of a wide-open Vince Jacob. Eagles up at halftime by 11. Second half, good start by Totino-Grace. Dothan Ejidimbola works his way to the block. Old board goes right into the chest of the defense for the and 1. The 6'6 junior put up 21 points for the Eagles. They started to run away with things. Chase Watley, always a tough assignment for any defender. 3-ball off the flare screen. Watley scored a game-high 29. Park Center did make a late rally. They got the lead down to 9, but the Eagles weren't going to let PC pull off another comeback. They hold on and win 74-63. In Brooklyn Park, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
Section titles are on the line this week in boys hockey. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Champlin Park Rebels are fired up for an appearance in the 5AA final.
They've cleared one hurdle with 1 to go. After losing in the Section 5AA semifinals the past 3 seasons, the Champlin Park boys hockey team won a tough 3-2 semi against Maple Grove Saturday.
Playoff games are always tight, and we're starting to figure it out at the right time here. We're all buying in and playing as a group, so that's helped us, and we're all really excited for Thursday.
We knew it was going to be a hard-nosed game in order to beat those guys because they're never easy to beat. And just, we needed to kind of grind it out and have some grit in our game, and we showed up Saturday night and had that, so it was really good to see.
The Rebels are 18-9 coming into Thursday night section final. The opponent, Rogers, a clear choice as top seed this season and a team looking for its first trip to state.
They got a lot of skill. I mean, you see their top line, a lot of skill on that team, a lot of Division I talent. I mean, it's going to come down to just gritty goals, gritty plays, playing the body, being hard to play against. That's what it's going to take to beat those skill guys.
This will be Champlin Park's first section final appearance since 2013. There's definitely a buzz within the team and around the school and community.
Yeah, that is probably the most exciting part, actually. A lot of people at school and in the community that I've talked to, they're really excited that we're in it, and we're ready to go.
I mean, it's not something that typically happens here in Champlin, but, you know, when you have a good group of kids that work hard and buy in and grow up playing together and love playing together, you know, anything's possible. So it's a really big thing for our program, and, you know, hopefully come Thursday night we can make them even prouder. And
the Rebels hope to make their first trip to state since the early days of the school in 1995. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.